the hell was that?
Oh, that's the intro video. I thought I dropped it
Oh.
before while we were.
Nah, you ain't never done that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's an intro video, man. It's a countdown.
Oh, all right. Well, anyways, welcome to episode. What is this? 32?
31. At least that's what I put in the description. So it's got to be 31.
No, I think the last episode was 31.
Okay, well I'll have to change that then. This is 32.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's 32. Like if I'm not mistaken, it's
no. You're right. You're right. It's 32. I'm tripping. Right. It's 32.
Because I know I say politics usual 31 under the last episode description. But anyways, we're here. Ronnie's here. I am here. Fee is en route from his job, so I don't know if he's going to be joining us tonight. But we got some stuff to talk about. Number one, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That news broke like literally 5 minutes after we wrapped our last episode. Like we were getting off, and I just went to my timeline and saw that, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So
because I saw the link, I was like, and I just looked at it for a second. I was like, "This can't be real." But I'm looking at like a story that says ABC News. I'm like, nah, this can't be real. So yeah,
I saw it from his Twitter account. Oh, like I saw somebody retweet the Chadwick Boseman Twitter account saying he had died. And I was like, yo, what? Because it's so like there wasn't even any time for me to have disbelief because I'm like, okay, this is very greatly worded. Like this don't seem like a prank. And then I saw the other news channels and I was like, okay, yeah, yep, that's real. Yeah, man. Incredible strength what he showed the past 4 years to consistently bulk up for these roles and the grueling shit that he endured, I'm sure, to give us these wonderful performances. May he rest in peace. Condolences to his family, his loved ones. Yeah, that's a heavy loss, man.
Definitely a legend in my book, man. Simply what he did for the culture with 42, Get On Up, and of course Black Panther. Then the Five Bloods like just came out this year, so yeah, definitely a legend in my book. Only gave us a short amount of work, but it's definitely quality over quantity, and he's a legend in my book, man. So may he rest in peace.
Absolutely, and I mean we used to joke about like that nigga was gonna play everybody in their biopic.
Right.
He played Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, James Brown. Like that nigga, I thought nigga was going to end up playing Denzel in his biopic. Like
I thought Chadwick Boseman was gonna start in the Chadwick Boseman story. Like he was legitimately out here. I'm more amazed at the fact that his illness didn't get out. Yeah, and that's because he kept it close. And I read the most recent story that up until a week ago, he thought that he was gonna, because he was preparing to start production on a new movie. So yeah, he was fully expected to, but just hate cancer, man. Cancer's trash.
Yeah, man, it's wild. And I saw somebody tweet. Yeah, we all made jokes about him when he was looking skinny, but that's why I was like, who is we?
Nah.
Like I learned my lesson about talking about people's appearances. I'll tell you exactly which one it did it. It was the dude who was at the basketball court in the full Michael Jordan getup. Like the jersey, the shorts, he had the stash, he had the leg sleeve, and I was laughing. And it came out that he had a developmental disability. He loved Michael Jordan. He saw the stuff how people were making. And I was like, okay, that's my last time judging somebody purely off of appearance because you never know what somebody's dealing with. And it's just not cool to be like. Even when I see people like sharing pictures of like people that like look crazy out in public, I'm like, you don't know what that person's dealing with. Why are you putting that on? Like even if they'll never see it, that's still just jacked up for you to just go show that. Like they ain't do nothing to you. These people just out trying. And that for me was a moment where it's like, all right, I don't ever want to be the person that's laughing at somebody and I don't know what's going on. And that was an instance of when the pictures of him started coming out. I scrolled by them because I'm like, it could be a role or he could be sick or we don't know what's going on. So I'm not about to say anything crazy about this man. And I'm glad that I didn't.
And I think Court said this, but for all we know, that could have been the litmus test as to whether or not he wanted to tell the public. But the reaction, because for him to even make an appearance like that in that condition, looking like that, like Like that was brave of him to simply do that. Because when we see him on screen, we see him one way. So for him to make an appearance like that, that itself took bravery. So with the responses that he would get, he was like, nah, I probably can't even put it out there now.
Yeah, and like he was disabling comments on his Instagram, and it's like, man, yeah, like this man gave us all this joy, and because like for all of Black people's ability to make a joke out of anything, we shouldn't make jokes out of everything. Like, yeah, we can turn a negative into a positive. We can take the worst parts of the pig and make soul food. But just because you can do that doesn't mean that you should joke on somebody simply because of their appearance, particularly when they haven't done anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the video of the young man stepping out of the gas station and somebody asking him, "Hey man, why you got that thing on yesterday?" And he's like, "Man, I'm homeless. I don't have any other clothes."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, mind your business. Be thankful for your blessing. It's like people just had this desire to go viral and punch down on people. And it's like, man, you don't ever know what somebody's dealing with. So don't, just be kind and gracious to everybody that you meet, even if you don't feel like they deserve it. Like that's just one lesson I've learned lately, is just to not give people, because I don't know what everybody going through. Like I was relaying a story in our group chat about how this my public sub got burnt that I was waiting on because this employee was giving the poor young lady who was back in the deli by herself grief, and she felt so pressured to make this lady salad so she could get out of there and go home. And I was like, under normal circumstances, I probably would have called the manager and been like, "Hey man," not even just on the lady, but just for her treating her coworker like that. Like, "Hey, you need to talk to her. She tripping. She fucking up the Publix brand right now. Like, that's not a good look." But the reason I didn't do it was because I'm like, okay, it's a pandemic going on right now. I don't know what this lady done dealt with today. The Publix that's near me is in a very affluent neighborhood. Ain't no telling what's been said to this woman today. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill out. I was extra nice to the deli girl. She was apologetic about me waiting so long. I was like, you know what? It's no big deal. I'm on my lunch break. I live around the corner. I ain't tripping about an extra 10 minutes out my day. Thank you, appreciate it. She was appreciative of that. And it was just like, you know what? Something told me not to say nothing, even though I probably could have got myself free for it. But it's like, is ruining this person's life worth $7? Potentially?
Not at all.
Not really. So it's just like, man, show grace to people, man. Especially those that you claim are your heroes, because I find that to be utterly disgusting that people were joking about this man's image and now talking about how much they meant to him and how he was a hero. And it's like, but you couldn't show him grace in a moment where he was clearly going through something now. You had to get that joke off, and you had to dunk on him, and you had to do it for some e-props and some LMAOs in your mentions. And it's like, is that really worth it? Honestly, like thinking about that man seeing that at a low point in his life after all the joy he's giving you through his work. So be kinder, people. Show grace to others. As I say that as we about to
I say that as we're about to sorry. We say that right as I'm about to dismantle Big Sean's album. So this is
Club Monster.
Yeah.
Y'all still got the link up for these, Josh? Because my brother was asking about one.
Yeah, shout out to the jersey, which I wasn't able to get. So please make a second round of those, please.
Yeah, or get a different colorway. But yeah, this every time I wear this somewhere, somebody somewhere gives me props. Be it at the job, if I'm just out at the store, somebody will be like, "Oh, what team is that?" And I'll just be like, "Nah, that's this a rap group out of Birmingham. You need to listen to them." But I got this from them. But yeah. Shouts to Club Monster. Also, Joshua dropped the track with what is their name?
Is it Nerves Baddington?
Yeah,
Nerves Baddington. Yeah,
Nerves Baddington. It's on Bandcamp. nervesbaddington.bandcamp.com. It's called Inkville, I believe. It is. I have it on my iTunes right now. New Rules Inkline remix. So it's called New Rules. Nerves Baddington featuring Josh. You can download it for free, but if you can pay what you want to purchase it, and the proceeds all go towards social justice causes. So support a good cause, support a dope MC, and a dope human being in general. In Josh and Club Monster. Keep listening to When God Ready. Shout out my guy Ralph.
All right, so let's get. And by the way, all right. So shout out to Ralph on the production before the slander starts. And by the way, I just want to get this out the way. This won't be slander. Like, this is going to be a fair take. Like, if there's anything I can say about my takes, is that I don't like exaggerate. I try to be fair. Like, AJ, for the longest I have been the biggest defender of Big Sean.
I'm not actually gonna say anything because I didn't listen to this album. I knew better.
Okay.
I know better than to waste my time on. Now I will say I like 2088, but I'm not listening to a Big Sean. So like after him rapping off beat on All Over Dark Sky Paradise, I was like, I'm out on Big Sean. I'm not a person that is going to continue to listen to somebody that disappoints me regularly. So I was out on Big Sean. I didn't listen to this, but I was up last night till like 3 because I was supposed to be in Birmingham this weekend. I'll be there in a couple weeks, but I'm not coming. So I got 4 days off to do nothing. Like I don't have to go get a haircut. I got my car washed, all that shit. So yeah, I have nothing to do, and I was up till 3, and I saw the timeline slandering the shit out of this album. And Blair, what's up, man? Go ahead, Ron. Get your take off because I can't say nothing. All I can say is I had a feeling. But
all right. So here's the thing. The comparison I made for Big Sean is when you have an aging quarterback and you draft a quarterback in the first round, like late first round, but you like put him on the bench and you let him sit behind the vet for a few years and then you let him start, kind of like Aaron Rodgers. So to me, like Big Sean has been molded by like the good music, like brand, like Kanye really helped him develop. And for the longest, like Big Sean like had potential to go next level. He's dropped some projects where he shows some promise, but for some reason he still won't take that next step. Like Dark Sky Paradise is a good album, but I think people call it a good album only because the rest of his output hasn't been so good. Because I went back, I listened to Hall of Fame, I was like, wow, this album really sucked. I went back and listened to I decided, I was like, yeah, this album ain't it. So that, of course, that's the one that stands out. So Detroit is like his project out of like mixtapes and albums that's held in the highest regard.
I love Detroit.
Yeah. Most people love Detroit.
It's fire.
So when people saw this track list and they saw Detroit, they were like, okay, maybe it's going to be like a return to form. Here's the most disappointing part with me. And I kind of said this on the timeline when I was talking about Logic's albums. The thing that I hate rappers, the thing that I hate most rappers do, the thing I hate to see them do is to create an album where the basically the output doesn't match the ambition, because this album was very ambitious. You look at it, you instantly see that he wanted it to be a big statement album, and what we got simply isn't that. And the most disappointing part is, I feel like, and this is gonna sound weird for me to say, but I'll explain it. I feel like I could take it if this album just flat out sucked, because I'd be like, okay, he at least tried. He at least, try to go all out, and maybe it's not for me. But this album is just in the middle, and that's frustrated me the most, because yeah, exactly, because you're like, how many albums in now, and you're still like. So to go back to your original point, why I shouldn't be disappointed with Big Sean anymore. Well, not even your original point. You mentioned something else that I want to get to. For the longest, I've been viewing Big Sean as one thing, but I think he is a 2088 guy. Like that's his lane, and that's what he should stick to. Like he is the rap. Like back in the day, we used to have like the rapper who would like give a guest verse on an R&B track. Like that's Big Sean. He's like, and I don't say this pejoratively. Big Sean is like a pop rapper, and he should be that.
And if you're good at that, do that. Like,
right.
Like be that guy. It's okay to be that guy. Like the 2088 stuff is dope. Like I like
that. Yeah, it's really dope.
Like I like that lane. And I don't know why he doesn't like. I mean, I guess the pressure of it. I don't know. For me, when I saw it was called Detroit 2, I was like, oh, this shit finna be ass. Because if you do a part 2 of your critically acclaimed classic project and it's not the immediate follow-up, and even in most cases if it is the immediate follow-up, that shit is rarely ever good. I can think of 3 examples off the top of my head of the part 2, the namesake of the classic being actually good. Chronic 2001, Documentary 2. Actually, it's only 2. Those are only 2 I could think of.
And then you haven't listened to this album yet, but I added Only Built
for only Built. That's where the third one came.
Yeah. But other than that, like, there's really no good part 2s of any album because it's also cheap. Like you said, it's trying to recapture like something that isn't there anymore. Like, albums are like time capsules to me. So you're trying to recapture something that happened during a specific period of time, and it's not organic.
Like let's run down the Lil Wayne's Carter series notwithstanding, but those were all direct follow-ups, and even then, like after 2, it gets shaky on those. But if we talking about albums, Blueprint 2, ass. Marshall Mathers LP 2, ass. Food and Liquor 2, ass. It don't work. Don't do that. Like, do not. It works better on mixtapes. Like, you could do that. The Fahrenheit series that did well. Budden's Move music tapes, even though Budden got outed for, well, not outed, but more allegations came up on his shit. Carter 1, Carter 2, those work. But it's very rare that you can do the sequel to the classic years after the fact. It just don't work. Stop doing Blueprint 3, ass.
All right, so just out of curiosity, I googled like best sequels in hip hop, and of course I trust it. Now that I'm going through this list, I really respect DJ Booth and their opinion, so I'm just going to go through the list of what they have, and because it's reminding me of like a lot of stuff that I forgot. So let's be fair here and point out the sequels that are good. You're going to disagree with this one off the top. I actually agree because I really like this one. Man on the Moon 2, Kid Cudi.
I don't really listen to Cudi, so I can't.
Okay.
I can't, like, I like Man on the Moon 1, but I haven't really listened to anything he's done after the fact, so I can't say anything. Like, I'm kind of neutral on Cudi. Like I said, I like Man on the Moon 1, but I don't know enough about like his projects to be like, yeah, that's wrong. That's right. I ain't never. Okay. I ain't even know Man on the Moon Part 2 was a thing.
Oh no, it is, and like I said, it's actually pretty good. Pilot Talk 2, Currency.
Yep. Definitely.
This one is taking some liberties, but we'll allow it. Stillmatic.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I'll get because yeah.
So Jay-Z Volume 2.
Yeah. I always forget about those. Yeah.
I know you haven't heard this one, but I mean it's good for what it is. Run the Jewels 2.
I just started listening to Run the Jewels recently, and I don't know if I got to 2 yet. I listened to 3 and 4. I know that's backwards, but
yeah, that's backwards. But I expect nothing less from you, AJ.
I start with the recent shit first. That's just
okay. Well,
unless you got like the classic album, then I'll go listen to that. But I'm all for listening to the recent shit first because I know the recent shit will catch my ear a lot better than something.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
If it's not like within the current sounding pocket. So I try to get my ears to get accustomed to what you're doing now and then go back to see how it evolved.
Okay, that's fair. This one is number 5 on that list, but now that I'm looking at it, is low key one of the best sequels in hip hop history. And I know you're not gonna feel me on this one. Dirty Sprite 2, Future.
Yeah,
that album is.
I'm not a future guy. I'm not a Future guy. So although I did like Hendrix.
Yeah, Hendrix is amazing. Yeah, Hendrix is amazing.
If Future put out an R&B album, I'll be all for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like give me melodic rhythm and blues Future. I don't really care about trap rap Future. I give 2 shits about that.
Here's another one I forgot about. Fantastic Volume 2, Slum Village. Really good album. Really good.
Can't disagree there.
Of course, it lists Lil Wayne, Carter 3-2. I mean Carter 3-2. I mean the Carter 2. Excuse me.
Oh, I was getting ready to say.
That'll be wild. What if somebody made a sequel of like that third album?
Volume 2. Like, nigga, no, this is the third volume of the Carter. You can't give me the second volume.
That is not how it works.
Give me a 3.5. But you can't. I be mad as shit if somebody did shit like that. Carter 3 volume 2. Nigga, what? No, like you reaching like shit trying to do some shit like that. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Yeah, sequels very rare. Mixtape sequels work out way better than. Right. That's why I didn't really think of Pilot Talk, because I currently in my brain his projects are almost all mixtapes because he's released so many mixtapes. But I know that's not fair to him, but that's just how my brain kind of registers it. So yeah, and didn't Wayne try to do No Ceilings too? Or am I imagining that?
Did he? Does that exist?
Maybe that was a rumor that came out. I don't know, because I make it a point to not listen to anything Lil Wayne does in 2020.
Apparently there was a No Ceilings 2 in 2015. Okay.
Yeah, Asher Roth tried to do the Greenhouse Effect too. I never listened to it. I don't know what the fuck it sounded like. But yeah, rappers, stop doing that. Stop
doing that.
Stop invoking your classic albums and doing a sequel when you know you're not in that same frame of mind. It's okay to grow and evolve.
Especially because thematically, why are you naming something? Why are you calling the album a sequel to like some classic album when thematically they have nothing to do with each other?
Nothing. Like, you wasn't in the same frame of mind. Like, I respected Game doing Documentary 2 and Documentary 5 because he recorded those albums in the same sessions. So it was like, oh, okay, here's 2.5. Like, he could have called it the Documentary 3, but he's like, nah, it's not quite the Documentary 3. This is the second part of what I was doing. Like, that I can respect. Which I know Game is a piece of shit, but I still marvel at the fact that he gave us basically 36 songs and 25 of them were good.
And one of the best discographies in rap. Like, you can't take that from him, no matter how you feel about him. Like, he has one of the best bodies of work. And like
Doctor's Advocate, LAX and Red. Some people have mixed feelings about those. Jesus Piece, Documentary 2, Documentary 2.5. Game has some. There was
that album he dropped a few years ago that was about the LA riots. I can't remember the. Yeah, 1992. Man,
I always forget about that one, but yeah, that album was good. Like, Game has one of the best discographies in rap.
Yeah,
but don't support none of that nigga music. But that's one of the best discographies in rap. Any record you did like on Sean, skim through it, haven't been able to give a solid listen.
Oh, okay, so to be fair, there are like a few standout tracks to me on the Big Sean. I really like, of course, the track with Nipsey. It was really dope how he did that, because it starts off and it's almost like it's a Nipsey song, and then there's a beat switch, and then he goes into how Nipsey's death just made him like change how he viewed the game. He talks about how he reached out to Kendrick and said, hey man, that Control diss stuff was kind of whack. Let's mend this bridge or whatever. And then
also he knew he'd get smoked, but
and he because I'm gonna put that in my pocket later until I finish this question. I want to get to that too. And also I typically hate anything that Travis Scott is on. And Josh, I know you disagree with me on this because you mess with Travis Scott, but I surprisingly like Lithuania. It's a good song. So yeah, there are a few standout tracks to me, but
I was just marveling at the fact someone named a track on an album Lithuania.
Yeah, out of every random Central European country, Lithuania. But yeah, so if you're going to put 21 tracks on your album, that you are already starting off with a few strikes. Like, there's no way. Like, this isn't like the early 90s anymore. Like, you're not going to give us 21 tracks like just 5 products. So you're already going to strike out a few there. So yeah, that was a lie.
You know who else be giving niggas a lot of tracks on albums? And I just realized this the other day talking to somebody.
Who that? Yeah. Lupe
Lasers is like the only Lupe album I can think of. Just like 12 tracks.
Yeah, if I see a Lupe album, man, it's on like 14, 15 tracks. I'm like, something wrong, bro. Like what? Like where the rest?
Nah, Droga's Light was short too, but I always forget about that shit because that shit
was exactly.
Ass.
Yeah,
shit was cheeks. Don't do that.
I guess technically you could drop. Well, does he call it Droga's Wave or does he just call it Waves?
He calls it Droga's Wave.
Okay. So yeah, I guess you could technically count that too.
Yeah, I mean you don't like that album though.
I don't hate it. I don't dislike it.
I mean it's mural in album form. So you get to the last half. The first half is too. I never listened to the first half honestly. Like I will skim through a couple joints on there, but the first half is I leave that to like Lee and Chuck to dissect. That's too densely layered lyrically even for me. Actually, you know what? This is a pretty good set. Well, go ahead and make your Sean point, and then we can make this other segue because it's a good segue either way.
Okay, so my Sean take is that he had too much dip on his chip.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, the best iteration of Big Sean is the rapper who makes these guest verses on R&B tracks, drops a few clever lines, basically like a Drake light almost. But Big Sean went on this campaign where he was like, I'm the best rapper alive. And he tried to return to that on this album. Like, I know you said on Dark Sky Paradise, you hate the rapping off beat. He does that a lot on this album. So
I didn't listen to it.
So and I make the comparison is like when people talk about like, oh, she can't sing, she just yells real loud, like she's going in and then makes people think she can sing. Like people talk about that singer. So just because you rap in double time don't mean you spin because it's not working at all. So to me, like he got away from something that was working for him, which is like the 2088 material. So I just feel like now you're too deep in the game in your career to like not know who you are as a rapper right now. So Detroit 2 is almost like a detour.
You know who Big Sean kind of reminds me of?
Who's that?
And I don't mean this pejoratively. I mean like I don't know that he's quite the rapper that he is, but he kind of reminds me of Fab.
Yeah,
Fab is kind of at his best when he's doing a few. Granted, Fab can really rap when he wants to. But Fab is good on the chick records, the R&B joints, the pop stuff. Like Fab is good at that. Like I think that is a lane that Sean should try to get to. I'm assuming this is Josh. Whenever I see Club Monster posting anything, I assume it's Josh. No, if that's Dada or Kel, my bad. I just assume it's always Josh. Both of those records, Hit Boy producing Raph has samples on. Travis is cool. I like his credit. It's not that I dislike. I think I dislike Travis's fans more than I dislike because I ain't never heard Travis say a word really to know if I don't really like it.
Give me one fire Travis Scott line.
Oh, I can't because I don't listen to Travis Scott.
And to me, he is almost like, and I totally say this pejoratively, he is almost like Calvin Harris in rap form. Like I don't know, like he is serious because what does he do? Like, and I seriously ask people like, okay, and I'm not even talking about to the people that like casually like Travis Scott. Like this guy has like diehard fans, and to them, I'm like,
yeah, it's really weird.
And to them, I'm like, what does he do?
Why do y'all be buying them dingy brown Nikes that he be?
Yeah.
I don't that I'll never understand. Like I can understand not liking music, but you buying dingy brown Jordans? Why? Like, why are you doing that? Like those shits look fucking awful.
Yeah, you got distressed ones, but yeah, his career is the most confounding thing ever because he's like uber popular, and I have no idea what he does well.
Totally agree. But anyways, pretty good segue from one Sean to another. That is our boy Sean Smith. Dropped I don't even know what you want. I mean, it's technically an EP, but it's only
it's technically an EP.
It's only on SoundCloud because he probably didn't want to clear any of those samples, which I totally understand. He dropped I almost said Till Death Do Us Art.
That might be a fire title though.
I don't know. That's the name of his EP that's coming.
Okay.
This is a batch of projects that he dropped. Self-Portrait. So it's 6 records. And Sean Smith is currently, I don't know that I could name 5 rappers better than Sean Smith right now. Like in 2020, I don't know that I could name like 5 niggas better than him.
He's like a rare blend of just lyricism and also songwriting, because that gets lost too. Like, okay, you can rap, but your music sucks. But he is a guy who, and like you mentioned, like Lupe, like he's a guy who could layer themes, but they're not like too dense. Like
I'm about to put on my timeline right now, Josh.
Like we talked about like going back to tracks like Beef and Broccoli, like what he'll do with that. Like he could layer a theme and
Poor Man's Parable.
Exactly. But yeah, he's really rare, man. He's special. Like just
I thought about this while I was listening to his project, and only because I've been listening to these projects as of late. He reminds me of Fahrenheit Lupe.
Yeah, perfect comparison.
Like he to me is Fahrenheit Lupe. Mm-hmm. Like he's not Food and Liquor or Cool Lupe yet. He might get there, but he's Fahrenheit Lupe in that he just throws these little witty lines at you, and you like the shit he said. You might get hate because your skin black, and then get something be annoyed like Squidward because you got a face where you live at, and it's like, damn.
Because I got in the group and I texted you, I was like, if anybody else, like nobody else could have pulled that line.
Like nobody. Like
nobody else.
The way he sets his lines up is like, golly. Mm-hmm. Oh, Josh, definitely. I'm about to tweet you his first project. Listen to his first project first.
Yeah, listen to Sink or Swim first.
Listen to Sink or Swim first. Like Sink or Swim is, whoo, like that. That to me is like that. That's one of my favorite like albums ever. But like if so Death Do His Art comes out and it's fire, he might go in my 5 favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah.
That and for me that's hollow territory, because I you gotta rap for me to put you in my favorite rappers list. Like I'm not somebody that like you gotta be uber talented for me to, and he is like he just spitting on this. Mm-hmm. Like he is just spitting on this. Like Josh, I think you'll like Sink or Swim because he kind of touches on some of the same themes like that y'all do, like with spirituality, but while really rapping his ass off. Mm-hmm. Like y'all are probably 2 of the only people I've seen like be able to incorporate the spiritual element like in the hip hop the way y'all do, and like also like really be fucking rapping while y'all doing that shit. It's pretty fucking amazing. But yeah, I don't know what I went into it expecting that he would be rapping, but I guess I'm kind of shocked at the quality of these that he's dropping these. I think he said 3 or 4 weeks his EP is coming out.
Yeah,
but like to drop 6 tracks of this high quality, like hold on, let me go look at the track list real quick. I know he was. I like Up All Night. That's a joint of his. That's an example of his songwriting ability. Mm-hmm. Up All Night, even though it's a short track. Stevie Wonder, he was rapping his ass off.
Oh yeah.
And then However We Got to Get It. However We Got to Get It. Like yeah, when I listen to shit like that, that's when I'm like, yeah, I don't really need to rap no more.
Yeah. I miss the rappers that I listen to. I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna try this because there's no way I could do that.
I'll never be that good.
Yeah,
like there's a few like versus projects in my life that I've heard and I've been like, Failure by Lupe, Heaven by Sean Smith, Dada's Club Monster verse. I mean, Mugshots verse. You hear some shit like that, you just like, why bother?
Just like you know you don't have it in you. Don't even
niggas
try.
Like that exist out here. Why am I trying this shit? Like it's just, yeah, man. He genuinely impressed by like I want to say conservatively heard 25 songs from him. I can't think of more than 3 that I would press skip on if I was like on my way home and I just needed to hear the next record.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that consistency, man. Like,
Yeah,
because it's almost like because like you said, he sets up his punchlines perfectly, and a lot of rappers is almost like, okay, I got to get this line off, but no, like the way it's like he doesn't waste a word, he doesn't waste a bar, like everything like leads into something else.
yeah,
So the way he just constructs his verses are like so clever, like he's really like next level.
yeah. Like it's I would have loved to have seen him in a different era.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I would
yeah.
have loved to have seen him early 2000s or even late early 2010s in like the blog era. I would have loved to
Yeah.
have seen him like in an era where there's a ton of popular MCs around.
Mm-hmm.
Like a ton of popular MCs, like not like just people who rap, like because there's people who rap well everywhere. But I mean an era where like you talking about like the Lupe Offspring, the that initial class of I would have loved to have seen him in there with some legit competition of cats who could push his pen potentially to the next level.
And that's my fear for him, because the last rapper who I thought was like alien like, and he's still making music, and it's not like he's bad or anything, but I think he's going through a period of like just trying to find himself in his artistry and trying to like find out what type of rapper he's going to be. But Mick Jenkins, I heard The Waters, and I was like, I haven't heard anything like this since like the Cool Lupe. And I
Mm-hmm.
haven't heard anything since, because that entire album is basically, I think I said once, that entire album is basically taking the concept of Mos Def from New World Order and making an entire album about it. He's
Yeah,
talking about water as a life force, and I know it sounds corny as hell as I say it out loud, because the album really is about water, but he's talking about how water is a life force and it connects us all, and the way he approaches these songs and the way he tosses these punchlines out, like I really thought like he was gonna be next level, but once again I feel like he was just of the wrong era. Like The Waters was cool, but then he couldn't really find his footing. So yeah, I hope Sean Smith doesn't fall to that same fate, but I mean he definitely has two fans here. So
yeah. I mean he's got a lot. He's got a lot of people around him.
yeah.
Like people were retweeting this project earlier, and I like saw several like prominent Philly people like, yeah, the best rapper in Philly just dropped the project. Like people really, really believe in that dude. And it, like I said, it's amazing. Like the first time I heard him was on Heaven in, what was that, 2018, 2017, 2018?
Yeah, I think that was 2017.
Yeah, it was 2017. Because I just got into Atlanta 2017, and I was just like, dog, who is this dude?
Yeah, because you told me to listen to it. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be all right. It's not gonna, but like I was blown away, and that's rare for me now. Typically,
Yeah,
like listening to something, I'm like, okay, cool, I'll keep this in rotation for a week or two. But I was blown away when I heard it.
yeah, like it's just, I don't know, man. It's he's rare, and I say this as like I said, as someone who's a fan of lyricism. Y'all know we talk about Club Monster a lot, but it's because them dudes really rap.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of them really rap. Like it's not one of them or two. All three of them can really rap. Like I would probably, if I sent them a verse to any one of them and asked them to get on a song, I'd probably be redoing my verse once I heard what they sent back. Like all of them dudes can really, really rap. Like them, our boy Lee can really rap. Like it's a lot of dope MCs out here. It's harder to get. And hell, Wade Brown can really rap too, which I think gets lost behind the fact that he makes such dope music. But that dude can really rap too. But yeah, I love discovering and coming across new artists who can really rap. So if you like hearing dudes that can rap, go listen to Self Portrait. If you've heard Sink or Swim, you're gonna listen to Self Portrait regardless. But if you never heard Sink or Swim, listen to Sink or Swim first.
Please
Listen to the SoundCloud version. Don't go to the streaming site version, because the SoundCloud version has a couple extra tracks on it, and it's probably it has Heaven on it, and it has Care for Me, which is a Lauryn Hill sample that he couldn't clear. And those two tracks probably have his best rapping on it, and they're back to back. Like, yeah, like just to give you an example, like the song Poor Man's Parable. Well, first he starts off with SWP, which stands for Southwest Philly, and every word on the song starts with a S, a W, and then a P, like in order. He might throw a of in there or an and, but for the most part, they're few and far between. For the most part, Sally when it's pandemonium, sorry was poor. Like he does that for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And then there's a song called Poor Man's Parable where he's using alliteration, and first line of the first few bars, everything starts with a G, then an O, then a D, then an I, the S, then the R, then the E, then the A, then the L. Then at the end he says, if you look at my lyrics, you can see God is real. And like I heard that song probably 10, 15 times before I caught that.
And that's exactly what I mean by like Lupe level jazz types of themes, because it's almost like when Lupe says all the world's ill spinning, so, like because he lists 24 items and he says all the world's ills, like so just that level of like just
and to put it right there in front of you, but you not catch it until like late. Like again, my favorite Lupe bar is the Usual Suspects one. Watch how they mugs drop, because he sets that up and he puts it right in front of you. But until you've seen that movie or until you think of that part, it's like you don't really think about it. So yeah, I listen to Sean Smith, support that dude, man. So Death do his art. He said his out 3 or 4 weeks. He said a few weeks, so I'm assuming that's 3 or 4. I can't wait for that. That is again a person that we have been on the, like I think when we like retweeted the SoundCloud project, he had like less than 1,000 plays on that shit. Like he wasn't anywhere near like big yet. This is coming fresh off of like him being on like the Joe Budden pod and shit. Like he's super nice. Like he once, when he was like 16 years old, I think, went up to a radio station and rapped for 20 minutes straight. There's a Sway freestyle where he's rapping and Tech Nine's in the room, and you just see like him rapping and Tech Nine like catching the bar like 2 seconds after the fact.
Tech Nine, one of the greatest technical rappers of all time. And thing is, it's crazy. And please go watch that freestyle like after you listen to Sink or Swim. Like, because Tech Nine will be there and then he'll catch the punchline like 5 seconds late, and then another punchline comes at him, and he's just so you can see like the delayed reaction, because it's like he's tossing out these punchlines and it's like taking you a while to get what he's saying. And he also has a dope freestyle with Black Thought too.
Yes. And like he's not a like rapper. Like I do this like this. It's
I hate simile rappers. Give me metaphors. That's how I know you can really rap.
He's like we go see our dogs when the Dr. Dolittle. All my dogs was two-faced like MTV2. Don't get ahead of yourself like Rick Ross in his chain. Joe Jackson the grind. I beat the sun every morning, and I had like he does that to where you hear it and it's like oh. But like the crazy thing is when he's like really rapping, and this is something I've only ever heard Lupe do, is you'll catch that one and it'll put a doper one right behind it. So while your mind's blown by that one, you're not even paying attention to what he just said. So it's gonna take you 3, 4, 5 listens before you catch everything in there. Yeah, just high level rapping, man. One of the best rappers out. What else we got on the docket for the day? We talked about the Seans. Has anything else happened? It's been a slow week.
It has been a slow week.
But really, I just ain't paid attention because the Chadwick Boseman thing threw me all off. Well, we could have talked about the boys, but all right. So let me talk about the boys, but not talk about the boys. Y'all motherfuckers should have dropped the whole season.
No, they shouldn't have.
Yo, the NBA playoffs is on.
Nah.
The NBA playoffs is on now. Like, what?
Nah.
What good is it? They're not even the topic of conversation, and they dropped half the season anyway. It's only 8 episodes, and they dropped 3 of them. Now
that I don't understand, because last time they just dropped 2. I do get that.
So last time they dropped the whole season.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Like the whole season came out in one day last time. Because I watched the shit.
But nah, because I feel, but the thing that confuses me, don't drop it on Friday.
Yeah, that like to me, dropping on Friday suits you when you dropping the entire thing. If you dropping it during, drop it on a Tuesday or something.
Yeah,
like
because that's how Friday. That's how it was last year. I know they dropped it. Like I feel like it was like during the weekday, like it was a weekday. So yeah, don't drop it on Friday because
they dropped it July 26th. I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know what. Hold on, let me Google that real quick. That was July 20th. No, it was on the Friday last year.
It was? Oh. But then again, I did come around to it kind of late, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, nah, I was. If the first 3 episodes are there, it's cool. I don't like some of the source material changes they made. Like I was not a fan of and if you haven't seen season 1, by the way, spoiler alert, I wasn't a fan of Butcher's wife being alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked it. I wish they would have kind of left that, but I mean, I guess they needed motivation for Butcher this season. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they needed somewhere to go with it, I guess. Yeah.
They have one of the best twists in comic book history sitting right there. Like they could have went that route.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why, because it's really graphic, but you could have toned back some of that shit to get that twist. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then brace yourself. And I don't even think we're gonna get that till like season 3. But to me, it feels like, based on what I've seen in this first 3 episodes, it feels like they're setting that up. I'm just gonna be interested to see like how they actually do it. But yeah, the first 3 episodes are cool. I just wish they would have done the whole thing, because you drop half this. You gave me 3 out of 8 episodes.
Tough critic this year, man. You don't really like Umbrella season 2, which I thought was amazing. You said this is cool.
Let's get into that. I did not hate Umbrella Academy season 2.
Never said you did. I'm just saying you just like mild on it. You just like eh.
Okay, what killed me about Umbrella Academy season 2 is the stakes changed so much. Like, so you telling me 5 can jump to a cabin in 1980s Wisconsin to kill the board of the commission? Spoiler alert, by the way. To kill the board of the commission, but he can't travel around Dallas in 60 minutes to get his teammates.
But did he jump with the suitcase though?
No. Because if she gave him a suitcase, he went wherever he wanted.
Oh, well. But okay. No, now I remember. At that time, he remembered how to jump, right? Because he didn't know how to jump at first, right? Because he was like, you got to take it a second at a time. That's why he jumped incorrectly.
No, I'm talking about when he went to go kill the board to get the suitcase to go back to 2019.
No, I know that's how he was able to jump to that period, the right period in time. Because initially he was like, if I
I'm saying, you mean to tell me he can't slow down time, like jump 1 second to one sibling, 1 second in the future to another sibling, and round them all up? That's what I'm saying. Like, the stakes changed so much during and it to me, it just felt like
it's a fire season, man. It's one of
the action in it is dope. The character development to me is way better than season 1. Like
better.
I will give you all of that, like 100%. Like the story development of Vanya, even though she was acting like a fucking idiot toward the end of the season. Vanya, Luther is now no longer just a Leonardo Ninja Turtles carbon copy. Allison still annoys the fuck out of me.
I even didn't hate Diego, man. Because they added some layers to Diego.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's still an idiot. Let's get that right. But yeah.
But you saw what drives him.
Right.
Because in the comic book, like, that's the one thing that they talk about, is the fact that they allude to the fact that their father named him too. Because in the comics, they say he orders them in number of usefulness. So Luther's number 1 because he'll do whatever the monocle says. He put Diego as 2 because it's like, okay, you hate the fact that he's number 1. You're useful to me because I know that him being number 1 is going to make you be better. So like, they finally give him a little bit of character depth, and I'm okay with that. I just wish they would have done the stakes a little bit differently. Like, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The stakes, they could have changed the stakes around and the season been just as fine without the redo of Vanya's going to cause the apocalypse. We got to get back in time. We got, like, okay, yeah, I get all that, but Like, don't at one second 5 can jump to a random time period all this time away and be perfectly fine, and then the next minute he can't make it around the city of Dallas in 60 minutes when he can fucking teleport.
All right, I gotta read. Okay, he didn't know where Vanya was, right? So that's why he can jump to her.
He told her to go find Vanya, didn't he?
But he didn't know exactly where she was, so he couldn't have jumped to her.
He could have jumped to the other ones and then found her.
Is what I gotta rewatch again. You trying to poke holes in the theory, and it's airtight to me. So
nah, man, it's not. It's not airtight, man. It isn't. Like, I sent you that article, or where they were like, yeah, man, this doesn't.
I read it. It was all right. It was straight.
Already had your mom made up. I'm not saying it's a bad season. I just wish they would have been more consistent with the stakes and their power levels. Like, Vanya's all powerful, so she couldn't have just wiped all them out in an instant. Like, to me, Vanya's strong enough to create a crater in the moon, but she couldn't take out a bunch of fucking humans with suitcases and guns. Like, come on, man. Like, that's all I'm saying is there was more. They played with the stakes and the scale of their powers a little bit too much. Like, Allison couldn't have just rumored everybody there.
I will give you this one. I think they may have written themselves into a corner with the Sparrow Academy, introducing that, because that's always a tricky thing. That's always a tricky thing when you introduce like basically a villain that's like the inverse of like your protagonist. So that's gonna be a tough one to navigate, especially squeezing out an entire season worth of that. Like, that's gonna be a tough one.
Bringing Ben back to be the, because it's like, what are they gonna do? They're not gonna kill their brother. And now they're going to be faced with the choice of, do we go back in time and set things right again and kill Ben? And it's like, to me, this is what I hate about like shows where you basing it on source material, because you get these writers that think they can do better than the source material. And it's like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, because we like the source material as is. That's why we,
like, you don't have to make changes to what the source material is to, like, you can just take it and translate. Like, there's no, if you can create a bunch of tentacles coming out of Ben's chest as a child, there's nothing else in the Umbrella Academy that you change like, you don't have to change any of that stuff. Like, the way they did the Sparrow Academy in Hotel Oblivion, which I just ordered and I'm waiting to read. The way you did the Sparrow Academy, I read up on it, but the way you did it there, it could have been done. You could have did the televator thing. You could have done the actual Dallas storyline where they go back to Dallas and 5 actually has to assassinate JFK, and you find out that him and Luther are actually identical twin brothers. Like, you could have done that entire thing, but it's like, so to me, I feel like they're falling into the trap of the same thing that happened with the X-Men franchise when they cast Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. Vanya's role is not big after the first issue, but they could not waste Ellen Page. And to me, it's like, don't cast someone that you need to create more screen time for.
No, that's true.
And you like them, because now you got to change the entire source material because you're wasting this big star when you could have just said, or I would have just preferred you killed Vanya off, because she doesn't play a big role after the first. Now she might in 4, but after volume 1, she doesn't play a huge issue in 2 and 3.
Yeah, because to me, and once again, I'm a big fan of Ella Page, so this isn't anything against her, but to me,
not at all.
She's the biggest star, like on paper, but to me, the show is Aidan Gallagher, like 5, like that guy can act, because like his mannerisms, like for him to be like a 15-year-old, but he's walking around with a hump in his back because he's really an old man, like just those type of details, like the kid's a star. So he's the best, like he's the star of the show to me.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm sure Ellen Page wouldn't have minded if you'd just said, all right. But it's like in the X-Men, they fucked up with the X-Men reboot because, now we got to make Mystique a hero. We got to create reasons for Mystique to be around constantly. And it's like, it derailed the entire momentum of what they did with First Class, because Fox was like, we have a star and we have to use her. And I feel like that's what's being done here. You could have just killed her off if you felt the need to use her, or recast her if she didn't feel like she did what she was supposed to do in season 1. She bought the drama of being the white violin and the outcast sister and the black sheep of the family. She brought the drama in the first season. Recast her if you have to. but don't change the entire dynamic.
Now that's a bit of an unfair take.
Or kill her off. But if you can't take her being like tied up by her teammates and or her siblings and not being used effectively anymore because of the fact that she's Ellen Page and she's too big of a star to waste like that, then don't change the entire thing around and give her this.
Now we'll say that's one subplot that I feel like should be resolved. The I'm the outsider of the family, because I think at the end of this season they kind of like worked her in, so that just needs to be it. She needs to be part of the family now. She doesn't need to be the outsider, and they have to convince her to come back in. Yeah, like they can still have their internal struggles, but like that whole outsider thing is kind of done now. So hopefully they don't continue that thread.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's just and even with the boys thing, like I said, my beef with the boys was revealing that Butcher's family is. It's like, yo, that wasn't needed, man. You didn't have to do that. The Stormfront character, which you'll see, I'm kind of okay with this one, only because of the reason that they're doing it, which this isn't a spoiler, but they brought her in because she's the one character that is as strong as Homelander. Mm-hmm. So Homelander cannot intimidate her the way he intimidates everybody else on the planet. She's as strong as he is, at least in the comics that she is, or that character is. So I was kind of okay with that, but like stop change. Like that's what I want writers and directors and all. Stop getting a perfect source material and say, oh, I need to change, because it's all it is fucking ego. It's ego. It's saying I can't write what someone else handed me. Like, listen, man, if Snoop Dogg can say a line that Jay-Z wrote, you can take some shit that a comic book writer handed to you. Like, that's one of my favorite things about Snoop. Snoop was like, yeah, nigga, we was in competition to write, but when I heard that shit that Jay-Z did for what song is that? It's not the next episode. Whatever the first single off the Chronic was.
Yeah.
It's slipping my brain right now. But if he can do that, then you as a writer can take source material and just adapt it to the fucking screen and not make any damn changes. Like with The Walking Dead, like I know that was one thing that people were upset about is Daryl became a breakout star and he wasn't a character in the comics. So they're like, all right, well, we're going to kill off the guy who was the second in command of the group and keep it to Daryl because people like Daryl. And it's like, yo, why? Or like the new Ninja Turtle series where Raphael's the oldest now instead of Leonardo. I'm like, that's not the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Nah.
Like Leonardo was the oldest. Raphael is the second in command who hates being second in command. That stopped. Now I will say, because I'm rewatching the 2011 Thundercats series right now, I like the changes they made to the source material because it worked for the story. Still Drake. Thank you, Blair. I like the changes they made to, and if you don't know, the change they made to the story is they don't crash land on Third Earth. They're already on Third Earth. And Tigra is Lion-O's adopted brother, older brother. And the minute that Lion-O was born, Tigra became passed over for the crown. So he's the older brother, but he's treated like he's not. So he disliked.
You should have lived with that. I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, like so it starts off with this beef being between them. So they beef about who should be the king, who should have the Sword of Omens, who should get with Chitara because she flirts with both of them throughout the season. Like there's all, and I'm like, okay, this I like the change of the source material because it furthers the dynamic of the characters. But like when you take something like you take like Zack Snyder killing off Dick Grayson, like instead of Jason Todd, it's like, okay, I don't like that change in source material because one of Batman's most important relationships is Nightwing. So you need him around unless if you're just going to give all his character attributes to Jason Todd, then what the fuck is the point? So I don't know. I'm just a stickler for shit like that. Ellen Page is a great actress. I love Ellen Page's work. I didn't think she was bad in this season. I don't know where they're going after this. I can't.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough to see where they can take it because, like I said, I think they've backed themselves into a corner.
Yeah, and all this could have been avoided if you just followed the damn source material.
No, this season was fire, so I disagree with that.
This season could have. Have you read Dallas? Have you read the overview of what Dallas is about?
I haven't. I will say I haven't read Dallas.
Read the overview of what Dallas is about, and they could have incorporated that with this while keeping Vanya alive to me. But again, it's not that Vanya's alive. It's that you kept Vanya alive because it's Ellen Page, and now you have to shoehorn a role for her into the dynamic of the remaining siblings when you could have just either killed her or not, or just, you know, lamented the fact that she did her job. And if she has to be off screen for a while, then bring her back in season 3 for something, because she does come back into the fold. They just sideline her for a season or for one volume of the book because she is out of fucking control. So, you know, I don't know. I have a beef when writers do shit like that, and I'll probably never actually sit down and write a story. But if I did, and one of the stipulations would be you not finna change my fucking story around because you can't take the fact that I wrote some dope shit.
I'll change everything. I'll say, no, this is set in the 1920s and it's 2 white men, and
of course you would, just
to hate on you.
But I mean, but still, man, like the Ninja Turtles thing, you had a visceral reaction.
But no. That's no.
I
feel you.
Are not the Ninja Turtles if Raphael's the oldest. It does not work. But what's the reason you do that? Because you're a writer and you think you can write a better story than Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. Speaking of, The Last Ronin drops next week, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. I need to.
First issue. I saw that shit on Amazon the other day. I don't know if I want to order. I might get all the digitals and then wait for the collected edition to order the physicals for the digitals of the individual series. But if you don't know, The Last Ronin is, so number one, they relaunched the Ninja Turtles comic books in like 2011. I have the first 5 volumes, which I need to get back to reading those. But basically it's a whole new story. It's modern times. Instead of them being simply lab accidents, the turtles are the reincarnated sons of Hamato Yoshi, and Splinter is reincarnated Hamato Yoshi. So they're reborn into New York as these lab animals, ooze, ninjas, turtles, all that fun shit. The story you know and love. But they take some interesting twists and turns with it. So The Last Ronin is the first story by the original creators that they've written together in I don't know how long. But it's the last turtle in the future. But we don't know which of the 4 turtles it is yet. So they're in the future and they've got their brother's weapons, and they're the last surviving one. So it's supposed to be super dope. I've loved all the promotion for it, and I'm interested to see who's your bet on who it is. I'll tell you who it's not. It's not Raphael.
I was leaning Donatello.
The obvious choice, and to me, and Raphael's my favorite turtle. But if it's Raphael, I would be supremely disappointed because he's the one you expect to be.
I was thinking Donatello.
I think it's Donatello too.
Yeah, I was leaning Donatello.
I'm gonna say Mikey, because Mikey would be the one who is least likely to turn into the soulless, lonely. He would be the one hit most hard by his brothers.
Yeah, if all of his brothers are going, he'd be the one. It would be more compelling if he made that turn.
Right. Because from a story like Leo and Raph, I don't feel like, because Leo's the soldier boy, he's gonna do what he's supposed to do. Raphael's the angry one and the loner anyway. Donatello is almost the perfect choice because he's the one who's the least prone to violence out of all of them. Like Mikey likes fighting, but he likes it because it's fun. But for him to be the youngest, seeing all of his brothers die, and him turn into this dark Batman-esque ninja, that to me would be a lot more compelling than I hope it's not Raphael. And I say this is
because that's the most obvious to me. So I hope it's not.
It's too obvious. Him and Leo it's too obvious for them to be it. But I think it comes out September 9th.
Yeah.
Let me Google that real quick. The first issue. So it's 5 issues. And yeah, September 9th is what I'm saying. So yeah, I am and actually this is from a 1987 storyline that they lost.
Yeah. They said this has been years in the making.
So yeah, that's literally since I've been alive.
Right.
So yeah, shut up, Ryan.
Shut up, Ryan.
That's the guy who watches TV trope, who's on TVtropes.com all day. You're one of us too, nigga. Shut up. But yeah, if you are looking for a graphic novel series to get into, if it's something that you read, get the first volume of the IDW Ninja Turtles comic book, just the first volume, and read through it, and you'll like it. They pay homage to the Turtles originally all having red bandanas, and then in the second issue, you find out why they all wear red bandanas, and they go back to their original, well, their cartoon colors, because originally they wore red. But yeah, it's a great series. I've been completely. I used to read it while I was on break at work because since I've been at home, I haven't read it as much because I have like a guitar and a piano and a PlayStation and a computer and a whole bunch of other shit that I can do on my lunch break. Whereas before, I would just read on my lunch break, so it's very hard for me to sit down and just read some shit when I have other stuff that I feel like I should be doing. But I'm gonna get back on it. Yeah, so I'm getting that. Are you getting physicals for all of them? Or you?
I'm getting physicals for all of them. I mean, I'm typically not a wait for the trade person, even though I need to be because I have like a lot of single issues on my bookshelf back here. So I need to just start buying trades.
For me, single issues are just so difficult to keep up with.
They are, but at the same time, and I do understand your argument with digital, but at the same time, I feel like that's the best way to support if I'm really into something.
Oh no, I agree. I 100% agree. Like the reason I typically wait for because I still want the Shattered Grid Boom Mighty Morphin Power Rangers run, which I read the first 4 volumes of that. If you sign up for a free Comixology trial, you can actually read the first volume of the IDW Ninja Turtles run and the first 4 volumes of the Boom Power Rangers run, which stops right before Shattered Grid. But yeah, I like buying the collector's one just because the books are a little thicker. It's I don't have to like switch back and forth between books, but it's a preference thing. So yeah I'm probably gonna buy the digitals, put them on my tablet, read them, and wait for the collector's edition to come out. Also, do you want to? I don't know if Fia want to be involved in this, but do you want to do something for the Hybrid Theory 20th anniversary?
Oh yeah, I'm down. I feel like okay, I feel like that's imperative. We got to do that.
Yeah, because I gotta drop my my Linkin Park album rankings list.
Yeah, which is going to be interesting. I know Minutes to Midnight is up there high.
Nope. It's the album that's aged the best, but it's not.
Okay.
Just to give you an example, Minutes to Midnight is 4th.
Okay, that's actually surprising to me. All right.
It's 4th on that list. No, you're thinking of Meteora is the album that I say is better than Hybrid Theory.
No. I remember you saying that you really like Minutes to Midnight. Am I confusing you with? Okay.
It's the album that they took the least amount of chances with, so it hasn't aged as poorly as say 1,000. Well, and it's not even that 1,000 Suns aged badly. It's just they were trying to do what Radiohead did with K, and it's yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna rank those. I already gave away some, but you'll be caught by surprise. But yeah, I thought that would be a good thing to do. Because yeah, Linkin Park influenced a lot. A lot of our favorite, well, ours, but a lot of our favorite rappers have worked with Linkin Park. It's a shame. Still rest in peace, Chester Bennington.
Yeah, rest in peace, Chester.
With September being Suicide Awareness Month, that's a noteworthy thing to put out there. Yeah, when did what's the exact date that Hybrid Theory dropped?
And I just had like an existential crisis because I just realized I was like, wait, Hybrid Theory is how old now?
20.
Yeah, dude. 20. It seems like it was like just 8 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years. Because I saw it because I follow Shinoda on Twitch, and he was talking about it on there, and like he like rolled out the box set, which I was looking at, but I was like, I ain't spending $200 on this Hybrid Theory box set. I don't even like that album enough to do that.
Holla at me with Meteora.
Yeah. I'll get the Meteora, or like if they do now, if they did Meteora with like a Collision Course vinyl, I'm in there. I'm in there. But yeah, so yeah, we'll have to do something for that. We'll have to figure out something for that. But if you haven't followed us long, we like to commemorate album big anniversaries. 4 years ago, we did it with Food and Liquor, which is coming up on its 14th anniversary in a couple weeks. So yeah, we try to do that with big albums. I'm trying to think if anything else big will be turning 20 this year. Minstrel Show 15-year anniversary is coming up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Minstrel Show, that is. Oh shit, that is next week.
All right. Well, I guess I know what we're talking about.
That is, that's the 13th. So we talking about next Friday is the 11th. So yeah, that's that Sunday. So yeah, next episode, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I know what we're talking about next week. Yeah.
I am glad I looked at that. I saw it in my phone because I put a calendar reminder for it. Because I'm like, we have to talk about them. We have to talk about them.
We have to.
So yeah, 15-year anniversary is September 13th. So yeah, we'll be talking about that next week. We'll have to give Fee some more homework to listen to that, because I don't know if he's up on. He's listened to some little brother in the car with me, but I don't know if he's ever listened to the Minstrel Show. So we got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, this has been Politics as Usual. We'll be back next week talking about Lil Brother's 15-year anniversary, and I'm sure whatever other current pop culture topics pop up. Make sure you follow the Twitch, follow the YouTube, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter because we're posting on Periscope too. Ryan Court and Ronnie have been doing the politics. This is the Politics as Usual show, but we don't talk about politics. They've been doing the election update, and don't y'all host that with another guy now?
Yeah, Brandon Pickett, one of Ryan's line brothers. I'll say frat brothers. I don't know if they're line brothers. But, yeah, Ryan knows everybody, but the election 2020 miniseries might have some big guests coming up.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned.
Ryan been lining up some big ass guests, man. That's one thing about him. He gonna shoot a shot.
Oh yeah.
Ryan gonna shoot a shot. So yeah, that's going on. On last week's episode, y'all doing a live recap after Lovecraft.
Yeah, after Lovecraft Country. So right after Lovecraft Country ends, come back to the KWC blog, come back to our YouTube page. The live reaction show will be streaming there. Give us your comments, give us your theories. Like I said, immediately after the episode ends.
Yeah, HBO Max just sent me like a deal to resubscribe for way cheaper, so I'm finna have to take them up on that offer, since all my DC shit will be over there soon anyway. So I'll probably start watching it on there. I'll follow some people who have read the book and are watching the show, and seems like they're doing a little bit of justice to the source material. So
yeah,
I can respect that. Plus the way you guys talk about it, I'm like, okay, I clearly need to watch this shit.
You do.
Because it's some Cthulhu type shit.
Yes.
I gotta watch. So, matter of fact, since I'm off till Tuesday, that might be what I do. I might go ahead and reactivate my HBO Max and watch.
The fourth episode dropped early. It dropped earlier today. It typically comes on Sunday, so you could go ahead and watch all 4 episodes.
All right. Yeah, cool. So we'll do that. You follow me at my name is right there on the screen. 4 Eyes. Ronnie is normally tweeting.
Follow me at Detroit 2 is mid.
That should be your Twitter comeback name. Detroit
2 is mid.
Also, believe me now. Listen to me now. Believe me later on when it comes to Big Sean albums. Stop listening to Big Sean albums.
Yes.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
He is who he is. He is who we thought he was. And listen to Sean Smith. Please listen to Sean Smith. But other than that, we out.
Peace. One. Hey, man.